You've been taught that success has to be hard. But what if that's the biggest lie we've ever been sold? What if life is meant to be easy? Let's talk about something we all feel, that constant push. That feeling like you're swimming upstream, fighting the current every single day, just to get where you want to go. It's exhausting, right? We're told this is normal, that hard work is the only option, that you have to hustle and grind and force things to happen to earn your success, your peace, or your happiness. But what if that's the biggest myth we've ever been sold? What if everything you truly want isn't found by fighting harder? What if it's found by simply turning around and floating? This is what we're going to call riding the current. It's that magical, breezy space where life just works. You've felt it before, even if just for a moment. It's that day when you're in a perfect flow and time just melts away. It's when you get a sudden brilliant idea in the shower that solves a problem you've been agonizing over for weeks. It's the synchronicity of thinking about an old friend and they suddenly text you out of the blue. That's not an accident. That's not a coincidence. That is alignment. That is the current. It's your natural state. It's the universe conspiring for you, not against you. It's the path of least resistance where opportunities don't have to be hunted down. They just show up. So, if this is our natural state, why aren't we all just blissfully floating along all the time? Well, because we've been taught to doubt it. From the moment we are kids, we are told to try harder, push through the pain, and be realistic. We are taught that struggle is a virtue. The whole system is pretty much designed to convince you that your value comes from your effort, from your hustle. It wants you working hard, probably to build someone else's dream. This breezy, effortless flow, it doesn't really fit into that 9-to-5 work hard, play later model. And this is where we get skeptical. We think, oh, sure, alignment. That's for yoga masters living in a hut on a mountain, or for those lucky people who have mystical abilities. We've been programmed to believe that this state of flow is for the rare few, the super enlightened, or just the plain weird. But that is absolutely not true. This isn't some magical power you have to earn. Alignment is your true nature. It's your factory setting. The only reason it feels strange or out of reach is because we've spent a lifetime being taught to be suspicious of it. We've been programmed to forget how to do it. We doubt the current. We're so used to the struggle of swimming upstream that when we do turn around, the feeling of ease is so unfamiliar we immediately think, this can't be right. It's too easy. I must be doing something wrong. We undermine it, we undervalue it, and we go right back to fighting the water. But here's the good news. There is a way to stop fighting and start floating. There is a way to get back into that slipstream to streamline that whole process of creating the life you actually want to live. And it's not about doing more. In fact, most of the time, it's about doing a whole lot less. It's about letting go of the oars, dropping the baggage, and trusting the current. It's about remembering what you already know. The first step, the first little sign that you're turning in the right direction is a feeling. It's that little nudge, that spark we call inspiration. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about next. So, where does this whole journey start? How do you find the current in the first place? It starts with a whisper. It's not a booming voice from the clouds. It's not a neon sign. It's a nudge. It's that tiny, quiet spark of inspiration. This is the part we so often miss because we are too busy. Our lives are too loud. We're scrolling, we're rushing, we're stuck in our heads worrying about the to-do list, and we're completely deaf to the most important guidance we could ever receive. That nudge is the universe tapping you on the shoulder, saying, "Sis, over here, this way." What does it feel like? It feels like that sudden, illogical urge to go for a walk. It's the aha moment you have in the shower when you're not even thinking about the problem. It's the random curiosity that makes you click that article or listen to that podcast. It's the feeling of goosebumps when you hear a particular idea. It's that little spark of, that's interesting. It can happen anywhere. People feel it when they're surfing, playing music, creating art, or just sitting and staring at a beautiful view. It happens in the gaps, in the stillness where you forget yourself for a second. And here's the most important part. That inspiration, that nudge, is not just a random, silly thought. The original transcript called it infinite intelligence embedded within it. And that's exactly what it is. It's a breadcrumb. It's the first piece of a giant, beautiful puzzle, and it contains the blueprint for the entire rest of the puzzle. But we have to be willing to notice it. And more than that, we have to be willing to trust it, even when it doesn't make logical sense. Our upstream programming hates this. When we get an inspired nudge, the logical brain immediately jumps in and says, "That's stupid. That's not practical. You don't have time for that. That will never make money." And so we dismiss it. We rationalize it away. We turn our backs on the nudge and go right back to paddling against the current, wondering why we're so tired. Your only job at this first stage is to become a good listener. To get just quiet enough, just for a few moments a day, to hear the whisper, to notice what you notice. Notice what feels light. Notice what feels expansive. Notice what makes you lean in with curiosity. That feeling is the compass. That feeling is the current. It's a pull, not a push. The upstream life is all about pushing yourself. Alignment is all about being pulled by inspiration. It's the first step. It's the realization. It's the clarity. It's the universe offering you a thread. Your only job is to be willing to gently, curiously pull on it. And when you do that, you'll find it's attached to something much, much bigger. That little nudge of inspiration, that whisper we just talked about, that is the starting line. But so often we hear that whisper, and then we let it fade because we get overwhelmed and we don't know what to do next. You don't need a giant, complicated plan. You just need a simple daily way to practice listening. That's exactly what I've created for you in my new ebook, 30 Days to a Better You. It's a simple day-by-day guide to help you take that small spark of inspiration and start building it into real, lasting clarity. Don't let that whisper fade. Click the link in the description to download it and start your 30-day journey. Now, let's talk about that clarity and how to turn it into a daydream with a purpose. Okay, so you've listened. You felt the nudge. You're holding that little thread of inspiration. Now what? This is where the real fun begins. This is where we take that little spark and we fan it into a flame. We're going to call this daydreaming with a purpose. Now, I know what you're thinking. Daydreaming? Isn't that what we get in trouble for? Wasting time? Get your head out of the clouds. That's the old upstream programming talking again. We're going to reclaim daydreaming. Because in this process, daydreaming isn't an escape from your life, it's the architectural design for your future life. That little spark of inspiration you found, it was just the seed. The vision is the tree. The vision is the blossoming of that initial idea. Your job here is not to ask how, not yet. Trying to figure out the how right now is the fastest way to kill the magic. Your how brain is your upstream brain. It's full of logic and limits and what's practical. Your only job right now is to explore the what. What does this feel like? If you follow this thread of inspiration, where does it lead? What does the version of you who is living this life feel like? Let's say your inspiration, your nudge, was a sudden random urge to learn about pottery. The old brain says, why? That's messy. You're not an artist. The new daydreaming brain says, okay, let's play with that. What does that feel like? It feels calm. It feels creative. It feels grounded. And you follow that feeling. You let the vision build. You see yourself in a quiet studio, light streaming in, your hands in the clay. You feel the peace. You feel the joy of creating something. That is the vision. It's not a rigid 10-point plan. It's a feeling state that you are creating in your mind. The original transcript said the vision contains all of the necessary habits, activities, decisions, choices to make it real. And it's true. When you get crystal clear on the feeling of your vision, you start to see the path. You're literally collapsing the gap between you and that reality. You're choosing a new timeline, a new future. The vision becomes your North Star. It's your new compass. From now on, when you have to make a decision, you don't have to agonize. You just hold up the choice against your vision and ask one simple question. Does this feel like my vision? Does saying yes to this draining project feel like my calm, creative, grounded vision? No. Okay, then it's a no. See how easy that is? You're not pushing or forcing. You're aligning. You are choosing the path that's already flowing in the direction you want to go. This is the most work you'll have to do. Just sit, get quiet, and give yourself permission to dream, to feel it, to build that picture so clearly and so beautifully in your mind that it feels more real than your current reality. Because when you have a vision that is that compelling, that bright, and that exciting, it stops being something you have to push yourself toward. It becomes something that pulls you. So you're floating. You've got your spark of inspiration. You've used it to build this beautiful, vibrant daydream with a purpose, your vision. You're probably feeling pretty good. And now the old programming kicks in. Okay, got the vision. Time to hustle. Time to make a 200-step to-do list, work 18-hour days, and force this thing to happen. And whoosh, you've just jumped right back out of the current and are frantically trying to swim upstream again, dragging your beautiful vision behind you like an anchor. This is the most critical mistake we make. We take a divinely inspired, aligned idea and we try to shove it through a hard work, hustle culture system. It won't work. It will just lead to burnout, frustration, and that awful feeling of why isn't this happening? We need a new plan. Welcome to the Do Less, Achieve More game plan. This is not about doing more, it's about doing less, but doing less of the wrong stuff and doing more of the right stuff. The original transcript called it reverse engineering your habits, and that's the perfect word. You don't start from here, your current stressed out reality, and try to build your way to the vision. You start at the vision. You stand inside that daydream. You become that future version of you. And from that place, you look back at your current life and you ask, what are the one or two small things I can do today that are in alignment with that version of me? Not the 200 things, the one or two, the needle-moving activities. Let's go back to the pottery vision, that calm, creative, grounded feeling. The do more plan would be, step 1, research kilns for 8 hours. Step 2, write a business plan for a studio. Step 3, apply for a loan. Step 4, feel completely overwhelmed and quit. The do less, achieve more plan. It's, what does my calm, creative self do? They probably don't scroll Instagram in a panic for an hour first thing in the morning. Maybe my one action today is, I don't pick up my phone for the first 10 minutes. I just sit and drink my coffee in silence. That's it. That's the game plan. Or maybe it's Google pottery class near me. Just the Google search. Not the sign up, not the payment. Just the one aligned, easy step. This is about implementation, but playful implementation. It's about letting go of all the rest. So much of what we do all day is just overcompensating. It's busy work we invented to make ourselves feel like we're being productive, but it's not actually moving the needle. It's just paddling in circles. The actions that are truly in alignment feel different. They feel light. They feel easy. Sometimes they even feel too simple. They give you energy. They don't drain you. Your new game plan is actually a letting go list. It's about releasing all the activities, habits, and obligations that are not in accordance with your vision. This is the real streamlining. You are designing your day-to-day life to be a match for your vision. And when you do that, the universe doesn't have a choice. It has to rearrange itself to match the new signal you're sending out. You're not chasing the manifestation, you're becoming it. This all sounds wonderful, doesn't it? Just float, get a spark, have a dream. Do one or two easy things. It's a beautiful breezy ride, until it isn't. Because the moment you really commit, the moment you turn around in the water and start to genuinely float with the current, you're going to slam right into a rock. And that rock is all your stuff. This is the final, most important part of the journey. This is where you really get free. As you're implementing your new do less game plan, you are going to bump up against everything that's in the way. All the conditioning, all the programming, all the limiting beliefs that are preventing that new reality from being your current reality. You decide to take that pottery class and the voice in your head screams, you're not creative. You're going to be terrible at it. Who do you think you are, trying to be an artist? That's not practical. There it is. That's the baggage. It's that deep down, core level belief of, I'm not good enough. I'm not worthy. It's not safe to be seen. It has to be a struggle. You have to work hard for your money. And here is the most important secret you will ever learn. That baggage is not yours. It's not. You weren't born with it. You inherited it. You picked it up along the way from family, from school, from society. They were just trying to keep you safe to make you fit into the upstream world. But you were never, ever meant to carry it. This is the part of the process where you just put it down. Now, how do you do that? You don't fight it. You don't try to push it away. That's just more struggling. You do something much braver. You get curious. You have to be willing to feel it. When that resistance, that fear, that I'm not good enough feeling comes up, you just stop. You get quiet. You look at it. You investigate it. You ask, hello, old friend, I see you. Where did you come from? Whose voice is that, really? You have to feel what you've picked up, deeply, so you can understand where it came from and how it's been limiting you. And only when you truly understand it, when you can see it for what it is, just an old, inherited program, like a line of code from a computer you don't even use anymore. Only then do you have the power to let it go. You don't even have to do anything. You just see it. And in that seeing, it dissolves. And you will know when you've let it go. Because that rock you just hit, it vanishes. The water is smooth again. You feel lighter. There is an ease and a grace on the other side. And this is when things start to accelerate. This is when you're not just floating. You're in the slipstream. This is the real work. It's not hustling. It's healing. It's not doing. It's undoing. Every time you hit a piece of baggage and choose to let it go instead of believing it, the current gets stronger. The synchronicities get faster. And the life you truly desire stops being a distant dream. It just becomes what is.